So what's hard in that is tracking the user. So in order to do marketing well, so to get the full ROI at the end and optimize and be able to send the data back to the networks, you need to be able to track the users and to attribute the users to the correct source and correct ad network. And that's what it's all about.
How can you manage performance marketing in a cross-platform scenario? Hello and welcome to Growth Masterminds. My name is John Koetsier. 82% of us globally with smartphones and other devices play games, and 90% of gamers have played cross-platform games. It just so happens that games that are cross-platform tend to have 20 to 40% better revenue. But cross-platform publishers don't want siloed marketing. They don't want untrackable campaigns. They don't want costs they can't aggregate and ROAS they can't compare across platforms. So what's the solution? Well, Singular might just have one for you to chat. We have product manager Gali Housman and product marketing manager Kelsey Lee. Welcome, both of you.
Hi,
How's it
thank you.
going? Hey, John.
Super pumped to have you guys. Kelsey's been here before. Gali's a rookie, so we'll see how she does. We're rating you on your performance act. No stress, no worries. Let's start here. Uh, Singular announced it, I think it was a week ago now. They're adding PC console marketing measurement after primarily focusing on mobile and web. Why? What's changed in the industry?
So a lot of change for the PC console industry and also for the mobile. Like we can go back to the pandemic where the gaming
You want to
game
go back to the
marketing
pandemic, huh?
started.
Okay.
No,
Well,
Let's
no.
not do it. Never, never.
I'll just month a little and then we go back. No, but if we look a few years back, we see there was an explosion of gaming. That together with all of the tech advancements, smart TVs being more affordable and common, and the pandemic pushing a lot of activities to a wider audience, more millennials playing, older people, women. So we have a lot more people that have a lot more access to these games, which means a growth in the industry. So that's
hmm
one side of it, and the other side of it is the mobile the mobile marketing. Mobile marketing is becoming a very saturated market. So prices are high. There's a lot of, it's getting harder to get your game out and get a high ROI. And the marketers and the companies are looking for new revenue streams. So whether it's new channels, affiliates, influencers, and also new devices and platforms that we can
mhm.
advertise in or develop the game
hmm
um, privacy is getting more limiting, so that's also a hard thing for only doing like the classic mobile advertising. So, and also we can see it like from Google, from Android, we can see they're pushing also for cross-platform games. So the whole
Yep.
industry is going that way.
hmm
Mhm, mhm.
And
Kelsey,
we've
let's
seen
bring
this like live. Oh, sorry.
no
Sorry, John.
worries. Kelsey, let's bring you in. You're not in your home office right now. I think you're in your van. You're getting a new roof put on, so it's all
Yes, a little
van
homeless right
life at
now.
home.
Van life at home. And in winter, we had a meter and a half of snow just Sunday to Monday. So it's
Wow,
yeah,
wow.
there's a lot coming down.
Well, thank you for joining us even under these conditions. You're seeing more and more multi-platform experiences, hey?
Yeah, I mean, if you even just look in our client base, we've seen a lot of really interesting movement, acquisitions, mergers, some really big players, um, a lot of things happening recently. But I think even going back to like Activision Blizzard, I don't even know how many years ago that was now, but probably at least three. So this movement has been happening steadily where we're seeing mobile and like PC mobile console like combining from a publisher standpoint. So we've totally seen this in our client base.
Golly, let's go back to you. If you're delivering games and somebody can access them on mobile in an app or on PC or on the web or maybe Steam or console, what are your unique marketing needs around that kind of complex delivery?
So it's very interesting. The first thing that comes, the obvious thing is we have cross-platform flows. Cross-platform flow. So if you have a game on Steam, on mobile, and on many platforms, you might be advertising in one platform and reaching multiple platforms, and you
Hmm.
don't know in advance. So that's a big hurdle, or it's hard and it's different from what we're familiar with from the mobile advertising flow.
It sounds like a great thing. It sounds wonderful because I'm advertising for, let's say my Steam experience or maybe my mobile app, and boom, I get a free console user, I get a free web user, or PC or something like that. What's the challenge?
So I wouldn't call it a free, right? Because you do it on marketing. You do the market effort for what you'd want. So um, definitely, but you don't know exactly where the user that you're advertising, and if you have a lot of platforms, you usually wouldn't target just the Steam user because you don't know who is the Steam user, who's the Epic user, or who likes their console games. So
Hmm.
what's hard in that is tracking the user. So in order to do marketing well, so to get the full ROI at the end and optimize and be able to send the data back to the networks, you need to be able to track the users and to attribute the users to the correct source and correct ad network. And that's what it's all about. And that's a difficulty as we're used from mobile to same device and even device identifiers. Here it's different device and different identifiers. And then it brings out a whole new technological um, difficulties and solutions.
It's funny, Golly, because I was looking at it from the perspective of, let's say, maybe some companies even today, and certainly some publishing game publishers in the past decade, where they might have a dedicated marketing team for console, dedicated marketing team for mobile, that sort of thing. And so the mobile team spends some money, and the console team gets some goodies, and it's free to them. But obviously, from a bigger perspective, you want to understand, what are my campaigns doing? What's happening? What's my full ROAS across the entire world, right?
Yeah, definitely. And you'll and I want to say you'll be able to see it, right? You'll be able to see your full loss for the game, for the channels, for the like each platform. You'll be able to see it.
Which
So
I
so you,
think is also, bringing the cost thing in. It's not just, ROAS is ROAS, but a big aspect of that is cost collection. And these web cost partners are complicated. They don't all just have easy APIs to integrate like our traditional mobile networks. The integrations are a lot more flexible. So you need to be able to read Google Docs, you need to be able to read email reports, you need to be able to read all of these unique different types of cost integrations and standardize all that data. So even the cost collection aspect of like a cross-platform campaign to get to that ROAS is really complicated. Not just the measurement aspect. Like you really need to be good at cost aggregation and standardizing that data so you can synthesize the ROI accurately.
and
Cool.
and I'll take what you just said forward. You want to be able to the networks to send the data of the conversions back,
Mhm.
and that they'll be able to optimize accordingly. So that's
Mhm.
also a challenge of identifying the cross user and connecting it to the original user. Um,
Super interesting. I want to dig into that a little bit more, Golly. So, Kelsey, you're in your van, and your connection is going in and out a little bit. So sometimes we see you
Okay.
freeze, and we're just like, okay, she's probably saying something smart. We won't talk. Um, we'll find out on the
Oh
recording
no.
later if we're right. I don't know. We'll see. She's actually frozen for us right now, but it's all
Yeah,
good.
I'm sorry, I
Golly,
froze again.
yeah,
all good. Golly, I'm going back to you because you talked about conversions and be able to see that. And that's, of course, a key part, right? Kelsey talked about, hey, if you want to know ROAS, you got to know your costs because
Mhm.
you know, you can't establish what my ROAS is if I don't know what my costs are. And that's a challenge. But you talked about those conversions. So you want to know what happens after somebody starts playing a game. Did they buy something? Did they engage? Did they do multiple sessions? those sorts of things. And that's a new challenge when you're dealing with multiple platforms. Talk about that, Gali.
So definitely. So it's a new challenge because, as I said, the identification of the user is hard. And furthermore, there's also this is not new, but there's also a challenge of what we want to expose for the user data, right? Because there's user privacy challenges. We all want to be compliant. Um, so and we want and so there it's challenging for that. And also like if we look a lot of the PC console flows, especially PC, would be web campaign. So that also connects to like the future, the cookieless future, which is not so far
Yeah.
away. And that's also a challenge that arises to web campaigns and to connect them to different devices and identifiers. So for that, the networks have developed a conversions API, and these are APIs. You need to learn them. You need to develop the way to send all the data to each and every one of them and maintain it. And and once you have that, you have the ability to send the data and optimize campaign accordingly. So it's a much needed part to the whole tracking and attribution of the games.
So, conversions API is one way that you hear back that something happened, a user converted, engaged, bought, whatever the case might be. You've also talked about adding web postbacks and said that's an industry first. Talk about that, why that matters, why that's important, what it does, and why nobody's done it before.
So definitely, so the conversions API web postbacks, it would be the same endpoint. The whole idea there is to send the postbacks of the conversion, the data of the conversions back to the networks in a cookieless way, with a way that saves the data privacy, the user data, and everything is private and compliant, and allows optimization. So whether it's from the web conversions or whether it's from for the PC or console conversions, like in-game conversions, it will be the same way that you do it. Like it will, you will be able to configure it from your UI and send the data back to the networks.
Hmm.
Why is it interesting? Again, cross platforms and cookieless world. Um, so that's where we're going with web marketing.
Right.
Mhm.
And that's an industry first, the web postback.
So third parties are already supporting this. From our MMP competitors, we are the first to support.
Interesting. Kelsey, talk about that. There is obviously there are industries around supporting measurement on console. There are industries around supporting measurement on the web.
Mhm.
And Singular historically comes from mobile. Now you're bringing this all together. What's that look like competitively? Is this a solution that is better than these siloed solutions? Are there solutions that are all across the board?
I mean, that's a $1 million question. I think what we're trying to do is speak to that publisher, that marketer who is looking for a cross-platform solution, right? So that's what we've been talking about. We're looking for somebody who is experimenting, growing. They don't know necessarily what the roadmap is. They might be mobile, they might be PC console, but they're interested in experimenting across different platforms. I think that's where we're really going to thrive. And anyone who's interested in ROI, I mean, again, a lot of these PC focused or console focused or traditional web measurement solutions don't have the ROI component and don't have that expertise in collecting the data, which is really huge because it's so hard. It's like really, really hard with these web cost providers. A lot of the reports you get from them are really ugly. The data is not clean, and it really needs to be it needs to go through our translation layer, operation layer, where we're cleaning it and standardizing it, so it can be joined with all the other data sets. I think that's where we really thrive is joining really complicated data sets that don't necessarily go together and finding a way to make it work, and having really readable results that you can take away great insights from immediately, kind of like out of the box. And then being able to add additional customizations on there, like custom dimensions. If you want to think about things really creatively with your cross platform solution, you can use things like our custom regex logic or manually create custom dimensions that you want to show up in your reporting. And then the fact that we have, down funnel, um, postbacks and the ETL solution. So you're getting that information to your database, or wherever you want to manipulate that data yourself. It's a really end to end solution that I think other providers are missing.
We have complete faith that what you said was amazing and incredible.
Shoot,
Um, I heard about
I'm
10% of
sorry.
it. It's all
Oh, it's
good.
so
When
bad.
your roof on your house is actually on and you can actually move into your own home, then these problems will disappear. Golly, let's take that as a segue and then talk to the marketer who is looking for a solution like this. What can they expect if they adopt this solution? What kind of data can they expect? What kind of optimization capability can they expect? What will they see?
If we're talking to a marketer that's already familiar with an MMP or specifically singular, so they can expect full singular solution, like Kelsey was saying, like the whole product that we've been working on for a while or for a long time. So they can expect all the benefits of our solution, of our cost aggregation, data standardization, ETL, postbacks, attribution, all of it, customization to come along. So however they work with mobile, what they're familiar with, all the capabilities we have, they if you're not used to an MMP, so what can you expect to get? So again, the whole singular solution. So one, we're integrated with tons of partners. So probably the partners that you're working with, we're integrated with. If not, we all the time integrate with more and more partners. Integrating means being able to create like to create links, automated like governance links to send the data post back to them easily configurable from our UI, and pull regularly the cost data and all of the data that the networks show in their reporting. So you'll have the full image, standardized data for your campaigns and see ROI.
Mhm.
And so that's one. What else they expect? They'll have also like privacy controls and have like all of our solution that and what I wanted to emphasize here is that we said is also like the way to send the data back to the network, which is super important for the campaigns optimization, campaign reports,
Mhm.
like all of whatever they need, the reporting they need in order to optimize and spend their money well for these campaigns.
Cool.
Totally.
So the full meal deal. You know what I like about interviewing engineers is that you can ask a very complex question with multiple parts and they'll typically answer it piece by piece. Instead of if you ask the typical person three questions, they'll answer the last one, which is top of mind and forget the other two, but it's all good. You mentioned a couple times you've been working on this solution for a long time, and we got to talk about this because there's a history here, right? The solution hasn't just popped up and appeared out of nowhere instantly, full fledged. There's actually sort of pieces or components of this system that have been in use for a couple years. Is that correct?
Definitely. So like we have been building the infra to be a marketing data platform for a while. If that's what you meant, definitely it all goes with our infra and our product that matches. Like that's what we do. That's our bread and butter, right? We're a marketing data platform. We
Mm-hmm.
do attribution well. We do
Mm-hmm.
cost aggregation and data standardization well. So we use all of that knowledge we have and all of that technology that we have, and we've added coverage to more platforms. So we have been working on this for a while. We had the info ready, right? We just added some coverage, some more coverage.
And there was also a
The cross
customer who's
device
been using
report.
some cross-platform features for
Yeah,
some time as well, correct?
that's true. So clients can also track the user across different devices. So that's another view that they're able to get and see and analyze accordingly. So track the user across in several devices and then see the lifetime value and the revenue that they get for this user across all of the devices they use. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, Kelsey, last hits. For the marketer,
Let's see
what's
if
the big
my
takeaway?
bandwidth will hold up. um, I mean, I think the biggest takeaway is ROI always. Getting conversions, getting your costs, like that's all great. But if you can't do it together and if you can't do it intelligently with a lot of granularity across platforms, then what are you doing? In 2024, I think everything's going cross platform. So you really need a solution that is able to help you with those web UTMs and make sure that they speak to your mobile parameters and that everything's flowing through correctly and that the granularity that you're collecting from American Express or some random, like web cost, network has data and granularity and it's going to be able to be joined to your conversions and that everything can seamlessly go into your BI. Like the full end-to-end solution that Gali was talking about, I think that's what everyone needs. And you shouldn't be like picking and choosing. You need one solution to do it all.
Absolutely. And you shouldn't be joining those Excel spreadsheets yourself and taking this stuff
No,
on
don't do that.
PDF and other things like that
Get
and
out of
making
Google
tons of
Docs.
mistakes and having a very brittle process that's not repeatable from month to month because something changed somewhere. Totally get that. You know, it's funny as we were talking, and I know we need to wrap this up, but one of the reasons people are going cross-platform is, well, people are cross-platform, but also if you can go cross-platform, you can get purchases in maybe platforms that don't have a 30% fee, so you can
hmm
actually make more money. Excellent. Thank you so much, guys. Really do appreciate it. Golly, it's late for you. Thank you for being on. And Kelsey, you are out of home and in your van life office. And thank you for taking this time.
It's going to be the next platform out of home in van.
Starlink for the win.
Bye, guys.
Bye.